Steve from Nebraska. You are live on Truth Wanted. Can you hear us?
Yes. Hi, Dan and Dr. Blitz. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes, we can. All right. We are working again. We got those reverse polarity colloidal silver generators operating, and we are clear to go. How can we help you, Steve?
Yeah. So I was calling in regards to evidence. Mars was nuked as evident by enhanced amounts of Martian atmospheric xenon-129, a byproduct of thermonuclear explosions. And the isotopic spectrum of Mars, particularly the xenon spectrum, shows a strong resemblance to that of Earth's nuclear testing events. And Mars has a few uranium hotspots from radioactive fallout, specifically at Galaxius, Theos, and Mare Acidonium, along with the spots Antipod indicative of a planetary-wide shock wave emanating from Mare Acidonium, and the discrepant amounts of either uranium or thorium presently on Mars compared to the amounts of these radioactive elements found in Martian meteorites can very well be explained and only be explained by Mars winding up getting nuked. And based on isotopic analysis of the Martian atmosphere, this Martian nuclear apocalypse occurred roughly 300 million years ago, according to NASA JPL rocket scientist and Harvard astrophysicist John Brandenburg. And this smoking gun evidence of technological advanced aliens having nuked margins.
Let's pause, because I think you're reading off of something here. Yeah, so I want to have a conversation with you. Go ahead, Dr. Blitz. What?
Yeah, so just a quick question. Is he still NASA scientist, Harvard grad? Is he still NASA scientist and Harvard affiliated?
He's a former NASA JPL rocket scientist, and I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but last I checked, I thought he was still a Harvard astrophysicist, and it's John Brandenburg.
I'm looking at him right now. I actually don't think that he's affiliated. I don't think that he's affiliated with Harvard at all.
I see one thing here saying he worked at Harvard.
I might have him mixed up with Avi Loeb. Maybe I have him mixed up.
Avi Loeb is the Harvard guy. Yeah.
Harvard astrophysicist. Oh, okay. So I have him mixed up with another great scientist.
What's the value in saying he's a former NASA whatever?
Yeah, he's a NASA rocket scientist, so he knows all about radioactive fallout.
But he's not anymore, right?
I found his credentials right here, Dr. Blitz. If you want me to read it to you here, he's got a BA in physics from Southern Oregon University. He has an MS in applied science at University of California and his PhD in theoretical plasma physics at UC Davis. Okay.
Nice.
So, plasma physics, that sounds rad. That sounds cool as hell.
It does.
But yeah, so nukes on Mars, I guess. He's all about those nukes on Mars. And I'm guessing he has a book about it. Am I wrong about that?
I would bet.
Oh yeah, that's where we're at. Can I order it on Amazon?
Well, I know he must.
I don't know. Right? I'm asking you because these types. According to this, it says he does have a book. Actually, here's an interesting thing. He's got nonfiction books and science fiction books that he wrote using a nom de plume. So that's always good. When they're doing the science fiction along with the nonfiction. That's great.
So
no, this is nonfiction. This is actual radioactive fallout.
Here's what I would ask. So what I would suggest, this is a question that you should answer for yourself, is why isn't anyone else taking this seriously in the scientific community?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't seen the peer review. I should probably see what the criticisms is on this, but I haven't heard anybody disprove his hypothesis. I haven't seen anybody say,
have you looked?
Right.
Have you looked?
Well, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody that's debunked them.
Well, I'm seeing here that his submissions have not been accepted by peer-reviewed journals. So
that doesn't mean he's wrong.
Well, if it's not accepted by peer-reviewed journals, doesn't that kind of mean that maybe there's something up with what he's doing?
Well, what's the reason why they haven't accepted his hypothesis and his finding?
So,
does it say
so
why
when
they
I
haven't?
so typically when you submit something for peer review, it gets reviewed by your peers, and when that happens, if it gets rejected, it's either because you made a methodological error, because it's not novel enough, or because perhaps it's not interesting. Now, it certainly probably isn't the one that it's not interesting, because if true, that'd be super interesting, right? On the other hand, I suspect that there were probably methodological errors, if only because, what else could be the reason why it was rejected? I mean, it's surely interesting. So if it was rejected from peer review, then it probably got rejected on the grounds that the science was bad.
But it's a scientific fact that Mars has enhanced amounts of atmospheric xenon 129, and it's a scientific fact that is a byproduct of thermonuclear explosions.
Well, no. According to whom is that a scientific fact that it has this elevated ratio?
Well, they have sent probes up there that have measured this.
So there are other sources that make this claim. Can you tell me about these sources?
Yeah, there is elevated amounts of atmospheric.
According to whom?
You know what? AI chat. According to AI. Hold on, let me check my AI chat.
Well, hang on. That might be a bit of the problem, because I don't know if we should be relying on AI chats to kind of tell you like what's what on this, right? Like if you're gonna call into the show, I would expect that you would be the one to tell me that information yourself, right? Because I want you to be. You don't have to be like an expert. You don't have to have a PhD in plasma physics. But like, how are we supposed to debate the merits of it if we don't even know the basic facts, right?
Okay, this is what AI overview says. The atmosphere of Mars does exhibit elevated amounts of certain xenon isotopes, particularly xenon 129 relative to Earth's atmosphere.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, we can accept that as true just for the sake of argument. Sure. I can't verify that. I'm live on the air. I don't know anything about, what particles exist on Mars.
I found John Brandenburg, Harvard University paper. Evidence for large natural. Oh, this says natural.
That wasn't published by Harvard. That's a repository.
Hold on. Okay, I'm
looking at the same thing. It wasn't published by Harvard. It's just a repository.
Okay, we need to slow our roll here, Steve, because again, I don't want you to do live fact checking on yourself like while you're talking to me. That's not a good sign, because I want to be able to talk to you about stuff that you know. If you don't know, that's fine. But I just want to think about this, right? Let's say that this is true. There's higher than average levels of xenon on Mars. Okay, is thermonuclear war the best explanation, or is it like one possible explanation? Because I would be, if this was an actually scientifically accepted fact, if this was from a NASA probe or whatever, and they got this information, I'm willing to bet that some other folks have different ideas about why that is, besides nuclear war, right?
There could be a naturalistic explanation for this.
Okay.
But when we look at Mars, but a natural reactor would leave a deep cratering, and they're not finding anything on the surface of these nuclear hotspots that indicate we would find these natural reactors if they were present. But this was a naturalistic event.
Would we,
so
if it was
skeptical of the naturalistic event, and I'm going with it was nuked by.
Hold on, wait. You're saying, wait a minute. You're saying we would find evidence of it being naturalistic. Where's the evidence that it was like aliens? Like, what do you mean? Where's the evidence of that? Where's the nuclear bomb bits? Like, I don't know why you're leaning the other way on this.
Well, it was probably an explosion that occurred above the surface in the atmosphere. So it wasn't a lot of cratering. Wouldn't have left it. There was evidence that it was all destroyed in the explosion.
That we would find zero evidence of alien life on Mars, because that's where we're at right now, right? We don't have any evidence of civilization. This would be the only one so far. Don't you think we would at least find something to that effect?
300 million years ago. Yeah, I think 300 million years ago, that's a lot of time to destroy evidence. This happened.
I know why this isn't being, why this paper wasn't taken seriously.
What you got?
He's using the face of Sidonia as further evidence.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. He's using the face of Sidonia as further evidence that this was aliens. Cool. So while you guys have been talking, I've just been looking at this at this paper in big air quotes because it wasn't accepted for peer review, and it's just kind of like a whole lot of claims. I mean, he cites his sources with regard to the xenon abundance, so like that's plausibly true, but there's not really a whole lot going on here. It seems like it's mostly speculation and then pictures of rocks. Which there are a lot of. Oh, and also pictures of the face in Sidonia. Like this is not like a serious scientific work, is what it looks like. It definitely, for someone. Oh, he also has a picture of the Sphinx in the paper. So like this, like of course this wasn't accepted for peer review. This is probably desk rejected because it's not. It doesn't look like a serious scientific work. Now, if you aren't familiar with scientific publications, you may very well think that, oh, look, this looks so official and scientific. But as somebody who's been involved in this, this screams hoax, or not hoax. This screams somebody who's off their rocker to me. And the worst part about somebody who has a PhD kind of going off the deep end is that they know how to use, like they use the language and they will use the formulas, so it will make it appear to people who are not familiar with it. It'll make it appear legit. So I can understand why this could fool some people, but yeah, I wouldn't really take it seriously.
Well, that's Dr. Blitz's thoughts there.
I'll look into it
Steve,
some more.
what do you think?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'll have to look into this some more and see what other people other than this Brandenburg say about his claim. And I know that face on Mars, that was just an optical illusion. That really wasn't.
And he's citing it as evidence of aliens. So that should paint your understanding of what's happening here.
As far as the spheres on Mars go, I'm not sure how those got there, but I think that face was just a rock formation that just looked just
well, that's
people
good.
have this, they see patterns, they see what they want to see.
We're on the same page there, Steve.
Really there.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we're on the same page there. Was there anything else you wanted to talk to us about before we let you go?
No, you guys have a good weekend, and thanks for having me. I'll look into this some more and see what I can find about this subject. So you guys have a good weekend.
Steve.
Thank you.
You too. Have a great one.